I want it now, and I ain't never gonna back down.
Coming up on football tonight, Lafayette finally gets to play a game this fall, the Irish crossing the river to take on Atchison. Up in Rosendale, it's a battle of two top 10 8-man football programs, the Golden Eagles visiting North Andrew. And the regular season starts across the river over in Kansas. Highlights from Troy coming up on football tonight.
All areas of life. This series of meetings were
I am no regular citizen. Do you understand what you're witnessing? You cannot tell what the difference is. I want it all and I'm winning it. I do not care about opinions. Time to make a few decisions so I can take a position. I'ma go get it, I'm punching and kicking. I keep on moving it out for me. Just do it and stop at our talking G. I'm not expressing no modesty. I can't see nobody stopping me. If there's a problem, I gotta solve it. Straight to the top, I can't see myself falling. I gotta grab it, there's no time for stalling. Number one son, it don't have other options. I want it now, and I ain't never gonna back down. Said I'm fired up. I'm sorry, your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. Came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up. Rise up, I want it now, I gotta rise up.
Welcome into football tonight. I'm Chris Roush. Week number 2, that's Mitchell Ribberall. He's back again. Week number 2. We didn't scare you off of week number 1.
No, I'm happy to be back, and I think like a lot of the teams this week, I'm a little more prepared, so we'll see how it goes.
Did that first week age you a little bit?
A little bit. I think I'm a little 5 years older now, so we'll see.
5 years older? Well, we're about the same age. Yeah. I'm old. All right, you want to go ahead and get started?
Yeah, all right. We'll kick things off with Central taking on Atchison. Central coming off a loss to Fort Osage to open the season. 9 seconds left in the first half of this one. North Kansas City up 22-0. Central in the red zone. Can't get anything going. 3 seconds now trying to punch it in, but they are driven back to half ends. Trotter not too happy with his team. Second half, Central starts with the ball, hand off to Gabe Fields, and he has an opening, sheds 2 tackles before getting taken down. Hornets able to stop the drive and get the ball back in Central territory, but penalties pushing back the Hornets. Looking for the quick screen. Lane Nigas, though meeting the receiver at the line, forcing the punt, but North Kansas City would go on to take this one 38-0.
Lafayette Fighting Irish finally able to start their season. Won via forfeit last week. Take on Atchison tonight. Irish won 28-7 a year ago. Second quarter, Jaron Saunders takes a snap, rushes the right side, finds Xander Mace open, fighting for the first down, and then Saunders again. This time finding Kingston Oliver, who makes the open field catch. Atchison looking to stop Lafayette before going into the half. Lafayette inching closer to the red zone. Saunders with a third complete pass of the drive. Waden Lippo making the catch, finding his way into the end zone, but coming up just short. Then Lippo with a chance to finish it off. One more shot for Lafayette here before the end of the first half. He able to finish it, fights his way in. Touchdown Irish at 30-21 at the break. Atchison with the opportunity to score, but Lafayette nearly picking off the pass in the first half. Lafayette goes on to win. They're now 2-0 with a 50-21 victory.
Some non-conference Midland Empire Conference scores to pass along. 6th ranked in Class 2 Maryville falling to number 5 Harrisonville 28-20. And then Benton falling to Pleasant Hill 50-19.
Up in Savannah tonight we go. Savages take on the Lathrop Mules. Savannah student section rocking one of the rowdiest groups around. They're having fun. 6-0 Savannah at the half. Savage start with the football. Cade Chappelle bulldozing his way forward. Same possession. Weird few plays here. Miscommunication, fumble. Mules recover. But Savannah faithful, they're still going strong in the crowd. They want to see their Savages get the victory. Lathrop's ensuing drive. Mason Adwell running for his life. Watch Brandon Davison able to pop the ball loose and go straight up in the air, but Mason McFarland dives on it for the save for Lathrop. But the Mules drive ends quickly. An interception here at the third quarter ends the Mules' hopes for points. Defensive game ends with Savannah getting a 6-0 victory. Now let's go ahead and welcome in the head coach of the Savannah Savages, Kevin Kopecky. Coach, first off, thanks for coming on. Congratulations on the victory. Kind of a defensive battle a little bit, wasn't it, tonight?
Definitely was. Thanks for having us on. You know, it really wasn't the most pretty win, but we'll take that over an ugly loss, I guess.
I was there for about the third quarter, and you know, it was kind of a weird couple possessions there, just kind of the turnovers back and forth. But what did you see from your guys defensively to kind of keep Lathrop off the scoreboard tonight?
You know, I think we did a good job pressuring them from the outside. Our defensive ends did a good job, and our pass coverage, we knew it was going to get tested tonight. You know, traditionally Lathrop has been a real heavy run team. They have a new coach this year, as we all know, and they're throwing the ball around quite a bit. They threw more passes than we did, and our defensive back was definitely tested, but our kids did a good job when they needed to. We won the turnover battle. They had a lot more plays than we had. They almost ran 70 to, we didn't even run, I think, 46. I mean, they had the ball a long time. Our defense was out there a long time, not ideal, but our kids did a great job.
Yeah, and even though it was 6-0, what can you take from the offense going into next week just to build off of it?
Well, it's kind of upsetting. Last week we did the same thing. We kind of shoot ourselves in our own foot. You know, not that Excelsior Springs and Lathrop didn't have something to do with that. They're two pretty good football teams. But, you know, we're really hurting ourselves, and we got to get that cleaned up. Our defense is there right now. You know, a lot of coaches would say your defense is probably a little more ahead of the offense early in the season. And that's probably the case in our program right now, but we got to get that taken care of. We've got a good Kirksville team coming here next week, and we've got to be able to move the ball, quit hurting ourselves, and score some points.
Coach, to get you out of here on this last question here, is that just about repetition maybe for that offense? Like you said, defense is usually ahead of the offense early in the season. Is it just about getting reps or just kind of fundamental stuff too?
I think it's a little bit of both, and I don't think we've really found ourselves. We ran the ball a little bit more tonight. We weren't quite as spread as we had been the week before, and just I don't know if in our DNA if we're a true spread team here. We've got a lot of tough kids, a lot of people up front that want to run the football. And, you know, anybody that knows Savannah knows our school, we've got some toughness up here, that's for sure. And, you know, I don't know exactly what we need to do to move the ball. We got to figure something out pretty quick.
Savannah getting a 6-0 victory, defensive battle, physical battle tonight. Kevin Kopecky, thank you for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, let's go out on Highway 36. Cameron Dragons hosting Lincoln Prep. Both teams coming off a Week 1 victory. We'll pick up in the action late in the first half. Alex Zazembe drops back, dumps it off to his left for Dominic Hurst. Hurst with a nice gain, but the Dragons can't capitalize on the drive. Coming up empty, Lincoln Prep looking to put a nice drive together to end the half. Zach Shelby rolling to his right, finds Antonio Jones cutting across the field, picks up the first and puts the Blue Tigers in scoring position. After a timeout to stop the clock, Shelby hands it off to John Price. Price punches it in for 6 more, and Blue Tigers take this one 60-7. And more Midland Empire teams in non-conference play tonight. Chillicothe hosting Kirksville, and the Hornets get the win 34-14. And down in Kansas City, St. Michael taking on St. Pius. St. Pius takes this one 56-10. And there's still plenty more to come here on Football Tonight, so don't go anywhere coming up after the break. Hamilton trying to start the season 2-0. Can the 6th-ranked team in Class 1 get it done?
And Bishop LeBlanc impressed in Week 1. Can the Golden Eagles keep it up? Tough matchup up in Rosendale. Stay tuned. You're watching Football Tonight.
back to football tonight right here on KQ2. The Hamilton Hornets made it to the Class 1 quarterfinals last year, losing to eventual state runner-ups Mid-Buchanan.
But the Hornets returning a lot of talent from that 2020 team, so expectations rather high for this team, especially when they're ranked in the top 10. To Hamilton we go. Hornets, the 6th ranked team in Class 1, hosting Gallatin in week number 2. Hornets facing third down. The run gets stuffed by a pack of dogs. Hamilton punts, but Gallatin can't find the end zone on their ensuing drive. Next Hornet drive, Tucker Ross keeps it himself, gets some blocks on the right side, but Hamilton near the 10. Hornets looking to strike first in this one. Ross then just hands it off to Corbin Henderson. Henderson punches it in for the score. Hamilton comes out on top in this one, shutting out Gallatin 28-0. Down in Dearborn we go. KCI Grand River Conference crossover. Panthers hosting the Wolverines. The first half of this one all defense. Wolverines with the toss. That is muffed, botched it. The scramble for the ball. North Platte comes up with it, recovers it. 2 drives later, Colton Kirkham drops back, and he's looking deep. Throws to Jace Gibson, but is picked off by Logan Kimbrell. Maysville unable to score. Good defense here in the first half. Panthers now. Kirkham again drops back. Pass, tip, picked off by Caden Israel. But as he's tackled, Riley High takes the ball right away from him. Gives the Panthers the ball back. Weird turn of events there, but here we go. Maysville able to get some offense going second half. They win this one 28-6.
The Plattsburgh Tigers try to bounce back from a loss to Polo, hosting University Academy. Griffins handoff is fumbled, and Nathan Bash for the Tigers comes up with it. Then Isaiah Howard drops back for the Tigers, looks deep for Stockton, double coverage, and it is almost picked off by DeMarcus Paul. And here comes the Griffins now. Handoff to Alonzo Jacobs. He goes up the middle, makes some tacklers miss, gets down the sideline, and goes for a 75-yard touchdown. But Plattsburgh says not so fast. Howard throws the out route to Jackson Lewis into the corner of the end zone. That's a touchdown, but the Griffins too much for the Tigers, and they take this one 42-22.
More cross-conference matchups. East Buchanan ranked 8th in Class 1, winning 42-0 over the Trenton Bulldogs, and West Platte hosting South Harrison down in Weston. West Platte getting a 44-6 victory.
Princeton hosting Midway tonight, and Princeton takes this one 34-16, and Polo welcoming SLATER, and they get this one 18-6.
Don't touch that remote because there's a lot more action coming your way. A top 10 showdown in 8-man football. Bishop LeBlond traveling to North Andrew for a date with the Cardinals.
And in the 8-man Grand River Conference, 2 longtime rivals meet head-to-head. More from Albany and Stanberry coming up after the break. Welcome back to Football Tonight. Over the last few years, a few 8-man football teams rising above the rest. One of those teams, the Stanberry Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs, one of the most successful programs in recent memory, starting the season 1-0 with a victory last week. But tonight, it's a rivalry game for the Bulldogs. Up to Stanberry we go for a Grand River Conference showdown. Bulldogs hosting Albany, two physical teams. After a quick 8-0 lead, Stanberry gives it back to Tucker Schieber. This one, 65 yards to the house. His second touchdown in the first quarter. He reaches the house 3 times in the first quarter. 2 possessions later, brother to brother, Austin to Tyler Schwubach, 55 yards in the air, 30-0 Stanberry. Brutus, the Bulldog, likes what he sees. Brutus, okay, all right, cool. The Schwubachs connect yet again, this time 19 yards to extend the Bulldogs' lead to 38 after the 2-point conversion. Stanberry rolls to 2-0 with a 50-0 victory. Some non-conference GRC games tonight. Worth County handling St. Joe Christian. Tough go for the Lions tonight, 72-0. Pattonsburg picking up an 88-52 victory over Schuyler County.
Down in DeKalb, Tigers hosting King City. Wildcats coming off a Week 1 against North Andrew. King City dominating in the first quarter. Landon Wells, quick pass to Corbin Taylor, who runs it up for the first down. We'll see more from Taylor tonight. And then Wells next, handoff to Parker Muff, who had a great game last week, and he continues it this week. He cuts through the line, breaks a few tackles, makes this one look easy. Touchdown King City. 2-point attempt is good, and they lead 8-0. DeKalb looking to get some points on the board. Devin Hall rolls out of the pocket, throws it to the sideline, but Corbin Taylor finds it and intercepts it. And still in the first quarter, King City moving the ball pretty quickly. Wells hands it off to the one who scored first, Parker Muff again. He gets a touchdown, making it look easy, and King City defeats DeKalb 72-6.
High school football finally starting up for our friends across the Missouri River.
After the break, we check in with the Troy Trojans as they host Hiawatha to kick off the 2021 season.
In the top 10 showdown in 8-man football, Bishop of Lawn traveling to North Andrew for a date with the Cardinals. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Every year, a few 8-man football teams separate themselves from the rest.
This year, though, there are a lot of teams fighting for the top spots across the state, including 2 battling it out tonight up in Rosendale. Chuck Davis and 10th-ranked Golden Eagles on the road visiting number 9 North Andrew. Physical game early on. Cardinals starting with the football. Braxton Linville around the edge, takes a hit on the sideline, gets up, gets right back into the ball game. Later in the drive, 4th down, Linville, the keeper, he's close. That's going to need a measurement. Long time measuring, but he's short, just inches short of a 1st down. Golden Eagles take over. Ensuing drive, Reggie Love starts going right, bounces off of would-be tacklers, and he's got some room to run down the sideline. 1st down and a whole lot more in the Cardinals territory. A few plays later, Landon Gardner and Julio Gann, he's making some guys miss. 1 guy, 2 guys, get off me. 3 guys, touchdown. Bishop LeBlanc, 2-point conversion good, 8-0 at this point. Ensuing Cardinals drive. North Andrew takes nearly 7 minutes off the clock. Andrew Goff on 4th down, touchdown. Right back in at 8-6 LB though. Golden Eagles back on offense. Gardner getting the offense rolling, finds Jake Carell, knocked out of bounds, but picks up some big yards on the play. Later in the drive, 4th and 15. Gardner forced out. He's wrapped up, but he laterals with the Reggie Love. He trucks his way forward for a 1st down. LeBlanc caps off the drive with a Love touchdown, 16-6, and the Golden Eagles go on to win this one. LB now 2-0 on the year. They win 34-14. How about some 275 conference games? Nottoway Valley at East Atchison. East Atchison winning 84-0. Rockport hosting Platte Valley. Blue Jays getting a 60-12 win.
Over in Stewartsville, the Wildcats facing off against the Mound City Panthers in an 8-man matchup. First drive of the game, QB for the Wildcats, Doran Saunders, able to connect with Diesel Griffin. Same drive, Saunders finds the gap, able to continue the Cards' momentum. And then later on, Saunders again able to push through the defense for the 1st touchdown of the game. But the Panthers come back with their first possession. Quarterback William Rother makes pass to senior Will Young, who ran for a 55-yard touchdown. He